I have three communications to the board. The first one is Southampton Soccer Club. Even now, as the weather is warming up, our spring soccer season is fast approaching, and practice games scheduled upon us. Southampton Soccer Club is host to 11 boys teams and 4 girls teams, the most ever competing in the Long Island Junior Soccer League that will require field use for practice and games. Because of the growth of the club, we now have recreational soccer for the children who don't wish to travel. The club has grown to include over 350 children. We anticipate the need for fields to be on weekdays from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. for practices, and Saturday and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. for games. We have also established the dates of our summer youth camps at this time. A copy of our certificate of insurance was mailed to you. On behalf of the Southampton Soccer Club, I would like to request permission to use the Downs Family Park soccer field beginning March 18th, weather permitting, and continuing throughout the spring season until June 26th. We'll be holding a spring break camp for the club starting April 10th through the 14th from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We are aware of the parks used by the fire department the first weekend in June and have made the appropriate arrangements. Because of the amount of children we have in our recreational program, we also request the use of the park for the following summer program days for our youth camps: June 26th to September 1st, 8:30 to 1:30, Monday through Friday, and June 26th to September 1st from 5 to 8, Monday through Thursday, for summer training for our travel teams. As always, thank you very much for your consideration. Tim Rumpf, President.
We do this every year with these guys, and so I'd like to make a motion to authorize the Southampton Soccer Club to utilize the Downs Family Park in accordance with their letter dated March 27, 2017.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I look at that and 350 kids.
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't
So
it?
about 17 years ago, my wife and I and another couple put the original application into the Long Island Junior sitting at my kitchen table. And in 1996, I walked those fields with Mirtha to try to lay out soccer fields and a baseball field near Mirtha. And so to see this program grow to what it is, and Tim Rumpf and these guys,
It's great.
It's fantastic. So
Great.
Right.
Our second one's from Southampton Fresh Air Home. The Southampton Fresh Air Home is once again requesting assistance from the Village of Southampton with our fundraiser scheduled Friday, June 30th, 2017. Rain date Sunday, July 2nd at 1030 Meadow Lane, the home of Danielle and David Kinneck. The support of the village in the past has enabled us to continue to host this event, which raises approximately 40% of our annual operating revenue. All of us at the Southampton Fresh Air Home appreciate the help of the office as well as the assistance of the police and fire departments. We respectfully ask for a parking exception on the north side of Meadow Lane for the evening of the event. As in prior years, the home will provide valet parking services to park vehicles of guests and vendors that come to the event. SFAH has a clear understanding of the necessity of keeping the south side of Meadow Lane free and clear of parked cars, and our guests will be informed that traffic rules will be enforced. It would also be helpful if your office could issue a half-dozen permits for parking the day of the event for vendors and staff who are setting up and loading in the event. We once again ask for permission to collect donations at Cooper's Beach as a way of lessening the cost of the Grucci Fireworks National Display that we sponsor for the benefit of our physically challenged children that come to the home every year. Over the past several years, with the assistance of the village, we have been successful in raising money by asking for voluntary contributions from spectators who gather Cooper's Beach to enjoy the fireworks display. If you have any questions or need additional information, please don't hesitate to contact me. Many thanks in advance for your help. Thomas Narrow, Executive Director.
it's a big event for the village every year, so I'd like to make a motion to authorize Southampton Fresh Air Home to hold their fireworks and collect donations at Cooper's Beach that night in accordance with their letter dated April 7, 2017.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the last one is from the Girl Scouts. I appreciate your time regarding my request to host a Girl Scout cookie booth sale at the Southampton Village Hall. With board approval, we will be honored to have a booth sale during Southampton Sidewalk Sale on Sunday, April 23rd from 10:30 to 4. As a troop leader of my daughter, who is an independent Girl Scout and is now in her 5th year, it will be a total of 3 people. We respect the opportunity to host one of our sales at Village Hall, and please be sure that we adhere to the strict guidelines of the Girl Scout booth sale etiquette contract. If you'd be kind enough to approve this request, it would be greatly appreciated. We look forward to the opportunity to be at your location and hope to hear from you soon. Kathy Sagon.
Yeah, we've done this before and stuff. So I'd like to make a motion to authorize the Girl Scout cookie booth sale in front of Village Hall on April 23rd, 2017, in accordance with the letter dated April 13th, 2017.
Second? All in favor? All right.
Also, I just wanted to add one thing. We had someone in my firm who came, whose daughter was in the Girl Scouts. So, of course, the big thing after January is no one wants to eat cookies or anything with sugar because they're all trying to lose weight. So then you have the Girl Scouts coming out to sell their cookies. So what I learned, which I thought was a great thing, is that you can donate your cookies to the armed forces.
Yeah, you don't necessarily, you don't have to eat
And
them
that's what I
yourself.
did. And I think it's a great idea. So if they are in Southampton and you don't want to buy cookies because you don't want to eat them and you don't want the carbs or whatever you're on a diet, buy them and donate them to the military.
That's great.
I'll buy some and donate to the military, and I'll eat my own, too.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that.
Okay.
Great idea.
Pass that along. 'cause I think it's a
That's great.
thing.
It's great.
Collected in the past when my daughter was in it, and a lot of people donate a lot to the armed services.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, resolutions, item 1, resolve the reading of the minutes for the public session 2 of March 21st, 2017 be dispensed with, and those minutes be accepted as filed by the village administrator, and the actions taken at meeting be and hereby are ratified and approved. Have a motion? Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the claims for the warrants dated April 13th, 2017, totaling $334,455.18, warrant 13 general fund, $2,750 and $14,214.65, warrants 11 and 20 trust fund, and $6,676.50, warrant 11 capital reserve fund, and the village payrolls for the period from March 17th to April 13th be ordered and approved. Have a motion?
That motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Page 1, All-American Award, Fire Department badges, $1,063.50. Page 2, Adventure Auto Services Insurance Claim, $1,488.77. William Bates, Medicare Reimbursement, $1,285.80. Bellringer Communications, Ambulance Keypad Entrance Replacements, $1,158. Black Bear Lubricants, Bulk Oil for the Garage, $1,401.15. Braun Marketing, Spring Newsletter, $4,535.87. CSE Employment Benefit Fund, insurance premium for April, $26,576.10. Thomas Campbell, Ambulance Volunteer Dental Reimbursement, $1,000. Page 4, Cast Productions, Marsh Services, $1,846.65. Candace Clanahan for the Planning Commission minutes, $1,300. Page 5, Coastal Fire Systems, Fire Scene Lights, $2,961.80, and Body Harnesses, $3,816.35. John Cole and Joyce Cole, 2 payments for Medicare reimbursement, $1,044.90 each. Commissioner of Taxation and Finance, $11,099.24 for the first quarter MTA tax. Page 7. What's that?
Nothing, I'm just thinking of that MTA.
I know, it's a killer. You get a lot for it. Jessica Federico, Ambulance Volunteer Reimbursement, $1,000. Fluid Imagery, update to the court server at court, $4,655. This was paid for by a grant in full. Fluid Imagery Services at PD for $1,131. And at the village clerk's, $1,092.50. And one payment for a server upgrade at PD for $20,000, and that was paid for the district attorney funds. Prudence Fowler, Medicare reimbursement, $1,044.90. Fundamental Business Services, collection fees for February, $1,072.50. G&M Deej Incorporated, fuel tank maintenance, $3,860, and debris disposal from that maintenance, $1,120. General Code Annual Maintenance Agreement, $1,195. Christopher Gobler, payment towards the Agawam Water Study for the Sewer District, $20,000. The balance of his term. Granger Ice Melt, $5,864.32. Nice to talk about that on an 80-degree day. Hampton's Appraisal Services, appraisal for 276 North Main Street. Herrick Hardware, March Supplies, flowing on to page 12, $1,653.92. Industrial Hearing Testings for the DPW Department, $1,045. Integrated Wireless, dash lights for the ambulance, $1,500. Page 13, Johnson Electrical, Traffic Signal Maintenance for March, $1,350. Page 14, Lars King and Margaret King, Medicare reimbursement, $1,044.90. Lewis Fuel Oil at the bottom of the page, going on to page 15, $1,046.67 and $2,640.84, both for fuel oil. Long Island Cauliflower Associates, 2 payments for fertilizer for the ball fields, $4,560 and $3,000. Mayday Communications, UPS Power Supply for PD, $1,650. Page 16, Messiano Consulting, grant writer services through March, $8,362.50. More medical supplies for the ambulance, $1,234.74. Page 17, going on to the 18, Morgan Reuters supplies, parts for the garage, $3,489.15. Patricia Munn, Medicare reimbursement, $1,285.80. Mutt Mitz for the Highway Department, $1,034. Nassau Diagnostics physicals for the Fire Department, $9,860. Page 19, Norsec and Son, carding for the Highway Department, $4,352. New York State Unemployment Insurance, first quarter premium, $1,730. Office of the State Controller, court fines for February, $11,134.50. Page 22, Penwell's EMS Fire Department Training, $5,405. Page 23, PS&G Collection Services for the buildings, $1,849.67, and for the Fire Department, $4,015.64. Page 24, Rico's Clothing, uniform alterations for the Fire Department, $1,853.65. Page 26, Sprague Operating Reserves, 2,500 gallons of gasoline, $3,891.56. Student Roth Consulting Services for the ARB for February, $1,387.50. Suffolk Cement Products, this is the bricks for the heliport wall, $8,200. Page 27, Town of Southampton, leaf dumping, $23,350. Truck King International, a fuel tank repair, $1,729.24. Page 28, Vehicle Tracking Solutions, GPS.
fees would be as changed. You would need to look at the packet that we already have from him from the prior month.
So it wouldn't affect the fees that are deleted, because he does have items to delete here, too. It would only affect the change fees.
Yeah, this only affects subsections N and O,
Okay.
which are permit fees. These pages aren't numbered, so I don't know how to get you to the right pages. But if you look at, well, maybe,
No, I know what you're looking at.
right, but I'll forward,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is like from like cooking stuff and
right.
Yeah.
storage tire.
I'll forward to Steve the email that I got a couple of days ago from Dean, and then he can put that in the agenda packet for the next meeting, a resolution on the fee changes.
Okay.
Meantime, when I get a chance, I will look at the other stuff, but the other stuff will need a local law.
Okay. All right, yeah, so we'll come back at the next meeting, we'll have a resolution, and with the resolution, we'll hold it up with the fee structure, and then we'll do that.
Okay. Next item is Marinette Drive parking.
Yeah, I brought this in the, so we've talked about, we made a change at Mariner Drive, we did do some stuff there, but the more you've gotten calls from people that are down there, one is in the cul-de-sac, the taxi companies are parking cars down there, and the problem is if you get a tractor trailer down delivering to an industrial area, which happens all the time, it's part of the product, you can't turn that truck, you can't turn that 18-wheeler around in the cul-de-sac area with these cars that are parking. There's nothing in there that prevents them from parking. So the other part is that if people are parking on both sides of Mariner Drive, which is every single day, you can't
I'm very excited about it. It's going to be terrific. And then on Main Street, we took out a few trees there, and the phone was ringing off the hook a little bit, but and I want to explain some of that. This was down by the Golden Pear. There were 2 trees there that were actually dead that had to come out. There was another one I think they took out prior to this time. And we worked with Bartlett on it, and Bartlett suggested we take out the other ones that were by the Golden Pear, mainly because there's more issues than just the death of a tree. There's root strangulation, which was happening there. It was only a matter of a year or 2 and it was going to come out. And then, we're looking into putting this surface around our trees to protect our trees and keep them neat and clean. And so it was, let's take it out now, let's replace it. I was talking to Gary tonight about the size of the tree that will go back in there. So we're working on that as well. And just so that everybody knows, when the sidewalks came out, we removed brick to put in irrigation lines. So they're there, and as soon as this all gets completed, we're going to do drip lines all around our trees on Main Street, which is extremely important because one of the reasons why we were losing our trees was because we've been in drought conditions over the last several summers, and the trees have really had a problem because of that. And part of why we're losing it, or we're getting dead growth at the top, or several of them have died. So I think the irrigation is a fabulous thing, and I think the coverings, if we can swing that and do that over the trees, is another thing, because rain and everything will go through it. So I'm excited about that. So those are a few new things that we're working on at the moment.
Great. Thanks, Bill.
Just 2 quick things. I was rather shocked at Diane Deutschman's announcement of her taxes going up like that, and her school taxes are in that bill and so on. I'm just kind of, I don't know what...
The thing that I don't understand with the town, and maybe you can correct me, maybe you know, but I know that when a property sells, okay, that they bring it to full value, what it sells for. But hers didn't sell.
Right.
And I think that's really an unfair thing. It does force people out of our community. Yeah. And especially the elderly. It's just wrong. And I think it's one thing if she just bought that property and they had to bring it up to its current, but then it's been a family home forever.
Right.
I think it's wrong. And I think that, I don't know what we can do to convince the town of this, because I know they are going through,
Here's what
It's got AAA rating because of increased revenue from that, as a matter of fact. So
well, they're going to increase revenue and force all the local people out.
I was going to suggest, I never finished my comment, that I don't know if it, no, it's if there's a letter that maybe our attorney could compose to the town board, but we ought to, everybody who lives out here knows that the year-round local community is being strangled. I mean, I always remember the article in the Southampton Press after the 2010 census that showed that they showed all the areas out here, every municipality, but in the village of Southampton, the year-round African-American population in that 10-year period had shrunk by just over 40%, and the year-round Caucasian population had shrunk by just over 20%, and that's as of almost 6.5 years ago. And it's just shocking what's happening. But I think if we could compose a letter, and I don't know if Rick's the man to do it or what all, but they're running a guillotine, and it's a. And the other thing I was going to say, of course, the pain of walking into my office each day on these boards that were at my age. I'm not very springy as I once was, but the pain was certainly worth it. I think the sidewalks, and of course this morning my joy when I drove down Main Street is that they opened up the parking on most of the northern section of Main Street. I guess now they're over on Hampton Road, ruining your week, but it is truly a great idea. It looks great and was a pain I would
so
gladly
happy.
suffer again.
Yeah, right.
Looks-
And I have to
looks
say,
very good.
they have done a fabulous job.
Yeah.
They have
They
moved
have.
quickly.
Yes.
Within a day, you're back on, which to me is amazing. Within a day, you're walking on it. I think of the days when concrete was put down and you had to wait a week, and people were writing their names in it. And, I mean,
That day we had that Northeaster, they were out there
Yeah.
working the whole day.
They were an
in rain
amazing
suits, they were
that was a good
working
find.
as fast as they could.
Yeah, they're incredible.
I looked at them and I went, I wonder if any of them need a job.
Yeah, well, I think they're the prevailing wage job, so I don't know if,
Yeah, I don't
you
think I
know,
could keep up with that.
so, but yeah.
Good work, though.
So, I mean, I would be curious about what Diane said, because let's use our budget, for example. So our budget says that, and we're working off of different valuations and stuff, because we've actually considered whether or not we wanted to incorporate the town's assessed values and stuff. But we went from, what is it, so I mean, we've gone up, the taxable value here, we went up, we're 119 million, on the taxable value of all the properties inside the village. So the theory is that, a home, a property like hers, the value of everybody's property, in theory, rises at the same level for the land. And and then it's the structures that, if you build a new structure, you add value to it. And so her structure stays the same, her value of her property increased, like everyone else around, at the same rate, and depending upon the size and stuff. And then her structure was, from the 1950s. So the value of that structure actually should go down every year. So that's why, but they do reassess.
They pick an area.
They have a 5-year period where they go through and they pick an area. And I've always said that what they should be doing is reassessing per school district, not part of a school district, because if they reassess in the village and they don't reassess in North Sea, then everybody in North Sea's taxes will drop, and everybody in the village who's in the Southampton School District will see their tax rate increase, because it's 80% school taxes in the town. And that's where you see the unfair advantage. So that's how they should reassess, not by, we're going to take the village of Southampton and we'll reassess North Sea. They should reassess per school district, since that's the biggest. And I think if we were to generate a letter, that's what we should be saying to them, because in fairness, if a new house is built, in theory, all those improvements should actually lower her taxes,
Right.
not bump them up by 40-something%. And if they were assessing for that. So, I mean, that, maybe that's something we should be saying to them, because it's true. If they're only reassessing the village of Southampton, that's unfair to the people that, and if they're not doing Watermill and North Sea and all the rest of the district at the same time, it's unfair. So,
I think if you had, a letter constructed that said it the way you'd like to have it said, we could even go as a group to the town hall to tell them.
I think that's a great idea, because it's really,
Give it a little extra.
here's an individual who lived here her whole life. She's a retired teacher.
They go up 46%.
That's a crazy number.
That's not America.
It doesn't make, it
That's a
really
big
doesn't,
jump.
that just doesn't.
Maybe we had better get Donald Trump on this.
We should. Yes, and dropped the biggest bomb in
Yeah, that's right. He
the world
really
on it, so, yeah.
was active today. But I don't know when he's not in Mar-a-Lago. But
He works there.
Yeah, so, I know.
He works there all the time.
It's amazing what he said about poor Obama and his yearly
I know.
costs, and in 1 year, he's going to do what Obama did in 8. His
It's true.
golf trips.
But just a couple things, so that we touched on the new men's bathroom down at the park, so they've done a nice job restoring the women's. It used to be both men and women's, and now it's a women's bathroom.
Everyone has their own now.
Everybody has their own, exactly. So, and then they'll have a new men's bathroom that I have to tell you, the village employees and the supervisors are all really working together. We're pulling a variety of trades in to do it all in-house, keeping the costs low, and these guys are really working together well. So congratulations to all of the guys.
They've done a great job, and it's been progressing nicely. I just had one thing, because I've had people ask me how it ended up being in the ladies' room, which the building it is, and not the other way around, closer to, in theory, to the actual.
We had that debate. We had that debate.
But yes, and it's so this way I'm going to say, basically because it's a larger structure.
That's
And it
it.
provides more room and more space and amenities for the ladies' room. That's why.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I want that known to the public, because I've been asked a lot, why is the ladies' room further away from the actual playground? And that's why. It was the bigger space.
And the only reason why it's space is because actually the size of the area, and you can actually construct the new bathroom was much smaller than
Yes.
what, so that's the only reason
We had
why.
restrictions on
Because
that.
we had that debate, I had that debate with Gary over the women's should be closer to the playground. But, it's,
Just put a transgender sign on it.
there you go.
Don't we need a third bathroom?
Spare us, oh Lord.
You know what? You have to allow, stick with the taxes, okay?
Prevent any more digression at this board meeting, so I want to just, the drainage projects, which are on Culver and on Pond Lane, they've done a nice job